Good afternoon, traders and investors. Will back here with another one, coming to you with a Thursday market recap. Hope everybody had a very beautiful day. And in today's markets, guys, well, a little bit of a day of consolidation as some of our major sectors that have run a lot took the time to consolidate today, namely your semiconductors names and even Apple, which has run a ton in the past couple of weeks, taking a little bit of a breather today. I'm filming this one, guys, very shortly before the close, just because it's going to be a quicker video than normal. I have a flight to catch in about 3 hours, so this will be pretty much my last video for the week. Unfortunately, no videos tomorrow or Saturday. I will try to put out one Sunday, but I will be traveling, so it'll be from a laptop. The quality might be a little bit worse than you guys are accustomed to, but at least I'm going to try to get you those top 5 options plays for the next coming week. When we'll do the daily market recaps again will be on Tuesday, so I'll be pretty much away until that Tuesday session. Now, in terms of today's markets, guys, you can see SPY down about 0.27%, QQQ down about 0.78%, and take a look at the heat map, right? So very healthy market today. This is what we were talking about when we were referencing the ever so important rotation that needed to be had in the markets. Semiconductors had ran a ton in the past couple of weeks. Nice to see them taking a little bit of a breather. Apple taking a little bit of a breather as well. And what is there to make up for this little bit of a breather in names that have run a lot? The entire rest of the market finally starting to broaden out a little bit, and that is exactly what we like to see. Healthcare putting in some very decent gains on the day. Very decent gains on the day today as well, and financials too. But the bottom half of the market, guys, very, very healthy today. I like to see rotation like this. Now, moving on to the one-day relative, you can see that most of all our names are in the green today, led to the downside, most notably by technology, of course, resulting from your Apple drop, Microsoft, and most of your semiconductors. But all in all, guys, very healthy day of rotation. Now, keep in mind, tomorrow we do have one fundamental event coming out, and that is going to be global manufacturing PMI and services PMI. Should give us a little bit of an indication on how our sticky services inflation is doing. So if ever this read comes in lower than expected, that is going to be good for the markets. If ever it comes in a little bit hotter than expected, guys, I'm not expecting a tremendous drop at all, but could just lead us into a little bit further daily consolidation, which as of now is relatively healthy. Now let's jump right into the technical analysis, guys. So taking a look at our major market indexes, and then we'll take a look at our big tech names, and lastly, take a glimpse into my portfolio for the closing trades of the week. So taking a look at SPY, guys, going to do these quickly because nothing really has changed. Very healthy daily uptrend on the SPY. Anything pretty much above 540 is just going to be looking for that daily higher low for the continuation of the daily uptrend. Now, if ever over the next couple of days we roll this over into a daily downtrend, you guys know the drill. Just looking for a little bit of a weekly pullback after such a nice, beautiful 4-week rally here. Could be due for a little bit of an extended pullback right down here. Target this level 532, right? Nice little previous resistance. Going to be acting as current support, and your 12 EMA should be curling up into there right as well. So all in all, guys, the bulls are in full control, monthly, weekly, and daily timeframes. But in the event we lose the daily, well, just know, guys, that there's a lot of support down here for the bulls in terms of just a weekly higher low for the further trend continuation. Now, moving on to QQQ. QQQ, same analysis as the SPY, except for QQQ has a lot more space to work with. The higher low is all the way down here, 461.59. So any move lower, as we're currently making right now, going to be looking for that daily higher low for the eventual trend continuation, right? And if we just continue this semiconductor weakness, little bit of a very healthy pullback, and let's say some of your major big tech names, notably Apple, keep pulling back as well, that may just be the thing that brings the QQQ into consolidation mode a little bit further, maybe targeting your 12 EMA as a first line defense, and then obviously this 466 level right here. But in the event, guys, that we do roll over into a daily downtrend before getting to these levels, just understand that we're just looking for a weekly higher low, anything pretty much above 442, looking for that weekly higher low for the further trend continuation. Great prior support here at the most recent all-time highs. Moving on to XLF financials now. Financials finally pulling their own weight, and a lot of that has to do with some of the recoveries in the credit cards, right? Very nice rally by Visa, very nice rally by MasterCard as well. So hopefully when I was promoting these two names all the way down here over the course of last week, hopefully a few of you were able to bid the lows, and you should be in very nice profit right now. Overall, though, financials looking very good. We finally got our engulfing move, right? So it was a daily downtrend right here, looking for the engulfing move, taking out our most recent lower high. And now the bulls have created a ton of space off the lows so that whenever we do decide to pull back off of this move, any move lower, it's just going to be looking for that daily higher low above 40.4 for the daily higher low and the daily trend change. Now, the weekly is also looking quite good. Not really breaking our lows too much right there. Still in a little bit of a weekly downtrend, but this weekly candle is a very nice, almost engulfing move. So the bulls may just be looking to recapture and reset into a nice weekly uptrend. And we really do need it, guys, especially if we get some extended pullback for maybe another week or so on your major big tech names and QQQs. Financials and healthcare need to be there to pick up the slack. And so far, they've been doing a good job at that. Now, moving on to healthcare. So healthcare also not looking too bad at all today. Nice little rally to the upside. 0.35%, right? Gorgeous daily uptrend in formation. If we break these highs, 147.13, just going to continue this daily uptrend forward. However, if we were to double top and lose the lows, guys, it would be daily downtrend. Not that big of a deal. We do have a lot of space on the weekly, anything above 141 pretty much. Just looking for that weekly higher low and the further trend continuation. This is looking very good, guys. Looks like a bull flag at the top, right? And maybe just looking for that trend expansion, bringing us into our previous all-time highs at around 148. This is very good, guys. If financials and healthcare can keep up this rally, as I've said, while QQQ takes a little bit of a breather, well, the SPY will not be too affected. Yes, the QQQ and semiconductors represent a larger weight in the SPY. So if QQQ has a few red days while XLF and XLV are green, well, your SPY may just slowly trickle down, as opposed to when you get all three major sectors hitting the lows of the day, then you get the more significant and sharper declines in the S&P, right? So moving on to semiconductors right now. Semiconductors, whoa, what are those arrows, right? So semiconductors pulling off a little bit of a decline today, a little bit of consolidation, but that's okay, guys. They deserve it, right? After 6 days of tremendous rally, just a little bit of a cool off day for semiconductors. All in all, though, guys, very healthy, still in a gorgeous daily uptrend, looking for the higher low, anything above 249, looking for that higher low for the trend continuation. If for whatever reason this turns into larger form consolidation and we end up in a daily downtrend, no worries at all, guys. We have tons of space, anything above 198, looking for that weekly higher low for the future trend continuation, guys. If for ever which reason we pull back into this level right here, 245 to about 240, that would be a nice little location, in my opinion, to pick some lows and maybe go for a little bit of a swing trade higher. Looking very good on semiconductors, despite this 1 day of weakness. Not really going to change much in terms of that. Now, moving on to the Russell here, Russell down about 0.44%. So that's pretty much normal, guys. We did have an increase in yields. No real macro news to warrant the increase in yields, but you guys know usually an inverse relationship. Whenever yields go up, the Russell usually gets hurt the most. So daily downtrend on the Russell simply continues at this point. Lower high seems to be established using the moving averages as resistance, and we may just be going for a little bit more consolidation here. So what are we looking for here, guys, on the larger time frames? We are looking for the weekly higher low for the potential weekly trend continuation. However, we have to be careful, guys, because now the bulls have lost a lot of ground, right? We've pulled back almost over 62% of the move. And that, guys, if yields just maintain flat and don't really plunge lower, and let's say your S&P and your QQQs go into further consolidation, well, we can expect the bears to take back a little bit more of this move. And if they take back more than this, guys, you could just end up, best case scenario, with a tightening range. Worst case scenario would be the setting up of a weekly downtrend. I still do believe, guys, that I'm looking for maybe the 192, 190 area to maybe start a position on the Russell, because I do believe in the second half of the year, when interest rates start coming down and when the risk on trade becomes more prevalent, that's when you're really going to start getting this monthly breakout out of this 212 location and start attacking some of your previous all-time highs. But so long as the risk on trade is not favored by institutions, it's going to be tough for the Russell to do that. Now, lastly, the Dow Jones. Dow Jones actually performing very, very nicely today. Very strong day by the Dow Jones. And they did need it, guys. We were in a daily downtrend. We were looking for the bulls to engulf and maybe reset, and they were doing a great job at that, breaking above our highs right here at about 39,000 and now well above our moving averages. So they've created a lot of space off the lows. As soon as this move tops out, going to be looking for a higher low, anything above 38,300, higher low for the potential daily uptrend shift to the bulls. Looking very, very solid on the Dow Jones. On the weekly, I'll remind you what we've always been looking for is the weekly higher lows into weekly trend continuation. And now that we've broken above our most recent weeks of highs, I do believe that trend continuation can continue to manifest, reacting very nicely from our lower end of support range that we've had tagged on here for a considerable amount of time, just looking for that weekly trend recapture by the bulls. So all in all, looking very good, guys. Now, let's move on to some of our big tech names, shall we? Looking into Apple consolidating a little bit off the top. And this was one of the scenarios we were looking at, guys, right? Maybe if they fail the double top, we end up in a daily downtrend. And that's exactly what we're in right now. Daily downtrend on Apple. You guys know the drill. If you're in, and it was significantly overbought as well, as we were noticing, and Apple's not one to stay daily overbought for that long, guys. It's not NVIDIA, right? So whenever it does get significantly overbought, especially RSI in the 80s on the daily, can be due for some consolidation. That's what we're getting. Now, daily consolidation means that we're in for weekly consolidation as well. Or sorry, daily downtrend means that it's the start of your weekly consolidation. At this point, anything above 165, guys, looking for for a higher low and for the potential trend continuation. Now, Apple's coming down into a location where I may want to start bidding this one, guys, as close as possible, 205 to about $200. I will be looking to maybe make some swing trades around here in the form of short puts. So if Apple does continue this consolidation over the form of the next couple of days into the maybe next 1.5 weeks of trading, I'll be looking to play it maybe as close as possible to 200, which is your prior range of all-time high resistance, should now be a first level of support for the bulls, and your 12 EMA is going to be curling into that area as well. So all in all, Apple not looking too bad, just some very healthy consolidation. Moving on to AMD right now. AMD 4.62% to the upside, but it just couldn't keep it all up today. We actually got as high as 167, but they're trying to get the breakout pattern, guys. So as we were remembering, right, in an extended daily downtrend on AMD, and I was saying keep an eye on your hourly time frame shift. No hourly uptrend. Well, here it is. Big engulfing move coming above this huge area of resistance for the markets. What are they doing now? They're sitting on top of this area, guys, looking very, very bullish for AMD. I would like to see them maintain this hourly uptrend in the next few days of trading, especially since they've been left behind on the semiconductor rally. All the other names were rallying and AMD was always red. Now, all the other names are red and AMD is green. So nice little change in pace for AMD right there. What we're going to be looking for on the daily, once again, guys, daily downtrend. We have now engulfed the most recent leg of selling. So we've created a lot of space off the lows at any point, as if, let's say, we continue this move, as soon as we do top out, and be looking for a daily higher low for the eventual trend change. What I would love to see the bulls be able to do is get above this 165. Give me a close above 165. Come back down, use this location as support. That's about pretty much 163 to 160, let's call it. Use these moving averages as support as well, and then let's get that daily trend breakout. If we get that daily trend confirmation, your weekly higher lows are set, and we may just be due for a little bit of a weekly uptrend shift in AMD. That's what I'm looking for, guys, but over the next week as well, I will be playing short puts fairly aggressively, probably 157.50 down to about 155, still a location in which I want to play AMD. But I'm even tempted, guys, let's say tomorrow is a little bit of a down day for the markets for whatever reason. If we do revisit some of these lows, since we've created a lot of space and we're going for the daily trend change, I may just throw some 30, 45-day call options at it and really try and get the most out of this weekly swing up. Now, moving on to Amazon. Amazon with a very healthy day to the upside, 1.8%. We were always just looking for the higher low for the further trend continuation, right? Daily downtrend right here, engulfing move, looking to reset into a new daily uptrend, and that's exactly what we're getting, reacting nicely around the support from the moving averages. So now we're going to be looking to break this 188 level and really continue this daily uptrend into your prior all-time highs, and eventually for the continuation into the ever so coveted $200 psychological resistance for Amazon. This tightening range at the top right here is looking like a heck of a bull flag, in my opinion, guys, for the eventual breakout. Where are we consolidating? Above our prior all-time high range of resistance. So it's looking very good for Amazon stock, if I do say so myself. Would not be surprised if we do have continuation. If for whatever reason we pull back and set a daily downtrend again, well, this tightening range is just going to get a little bit more tight. And then, guys, as usual, we're going to be looking for short put plays, 180 down to 175. I want to play Amazon as much as possible while we're still in this area. And if I do get assigned some shares, I will be riding them probably into the 200. So I will be playing this one a little bit more aggressively, because as I showed in yesterday's video, the valuation, despite being at all-time highs, the PEG ratio 1.53, still very, very solid. Moving on to Google right now. So Google looking pretty good as well, 0.73% to the upside. Nothing really changing in Google. Still in a very tight sideways range of consolidation, right? So really tight right here. When this thing breaks, it's going to break hard. Let's say we break for the downside, right? Daily downtrend will be underway, and then we'll be looking for a bit more weekly consolidation. Got to be careful right here, guys. 171.42 is your weekly higher low. Break that, you lose the weekly uptrend, and you go into a little bit of monthly consolidation. However, on the flip side, guys, if we do break the upside here, 180.13, daily uptrend underway, and we're going to be looking for this weekly uptrend to just continue, most likely into the high 180. So Google not looking too bad at all. I do reiterate, guys, I will be looking to play Google if ever we revisit the lower 170, 168 region. That's where I want to be playing Google a little bit more aggressively myself. Now, moving into Meta. Meta looking pretty good here today, 0.44% to the upside. Meta, what is it trying to do, guys? Trying to set up for the daily higher low for the trend continuation, right? Gorgeous daily uptrend right here, using the moving averages as support, looking to build a base and then maybe launch and attack these all-time high regions of resistance. So all in all, Meta looking very, very decent. However, if we falter and tumble even lower, this location right here is going to be a very juicy swing trade around the 482 level, because we'll be looking for the weekly higher low for the further trend continuation. And that level of support is also in line with our 12 EMA, this yellow line right here, looking like a very, very beautiful area to retest and then maybe run. That is the type of swing trade I'm looking at on Meta. But all in all, the stock is looking very, very solid right now. Bulls in absolute full control. Moving on to Microsoft right now. Give me a quick second. All right, so moving on Microsoft. Microsoft down a little bit today, but very, very healthy consolidation on Microsoft, right? I would not be opposed to even seeing a bit more daily consolidation on Microsoft just because it can afford it, right? Daily uptrend, huge one move engulfer, and then looking for the daily higher low for the eventual trend continuation trade. Now, Microsoft has a little bit of breathing room here, guys. I would like to target this area of prior all-time high resistance to be the location of a retest. That'll be between the 12 and the 26 EMAs. Going to be looking like a very juicy opportunity. And that's not that far of a drop for Microsoft, only about 3%. So if the overall tech industry has a little bit of consolidation, a little bit of weakness, would not be opposed to taking a little bit of a swing trade right here on Microsoft for the eventual trend continuation, right? Looking very, very solid. Nothing bad to say with the stock. So much space above your most recent higher lows to set up for that higher low and trend continuation. The weekly is looking gorgeous, guys. Beautiful weekly trend continuation. But as I said, in the event we pull back a little bit more, daily downtrend, just going to be looking for a weekly higher low, anything above 407, weekly higher low for further trend continuation. That's why I say target your prior all-time highs, looking like a juicy area to retest before a potential run. Now, moving on to Netflix. Netflix also down a little bit today. Not too big of a deal, guys. Netflix had a tremendous rally over the past 4 days. Daily uptrend is clear as day right now. So as soon as this move continues consolidating, we're looking for a higher low, anything above 635, looking for that daily higher low for the trend continuation. Target this location right here, seems to be a decent one, 655, 657. Your 12 EMA is right there as well, and prior resistance should be newfound support. So looking for the bulls to maybe test and maybe get another attempt at some trend continuation, right? And where will that trend continuation bring us? Into this beautiful weekly uptrend continuation, guys? Well, you already know, 690,700, the all-time highs. I see no red flags on NVIDIA, on Netflix whatsoever at all, guys. But if for ever it's reason we choose to take a little bit more of a breather because big tech has, consolidates maybe for a week or two off of extended QQQ rallies over the past month and a half, well then, guys, this area right here, you already know, I've been saying it back here, but if ever we revisit the 630 down to about 605, I'd be surprised if we get all the way to 605, but could be a juicy little swing trade opportunity for the continuation of this powerful stock in the remainder of the second half of the year. Moving on to NVIDIA right now. So NVIDIA started off the day very, very healthily and then pretty much gave it all back, guys. It was a very big top to bottom move, right? Top to bottom, talking about 8% to the downside. But this move has done wonders in cooling off the hourly time frame, cooling off the 4-hour time frame, and even cooling off a daily time frame ever so slightly, coming back down pretty much to reality, right? Still a little bit overbought, but doing a great job. And we haven't even lost Tuesday's lows, right? So that is crazy in my opinion, guys. Still, if we do continue this consolidation, because now the bears have engulfed, maybe looking for the hourly downtrend. If we continue this daily consolidation, anything above 117, going to be looking for a daily higher low for the further trend continuation. This is going to be the first line of defense, 124, 125. Prior resistance, 12 EMA is right there. However, if NVIDIA decides to make a more extended move to the downside over the next week or two, daily downtrend, that's okay, guys. Going to be looking for a little bit of weekly consolidation here. Anything above 75, looking for the weekly higher low for the further trend continuation. I love this area, guys. 117, 115. That'll be a nice location where I may be tempted to play a little bit of short puts just because it's a more recent area of wider support, even though, it's not as strong as this area, but it is a fairly decent area. And the 12 EMA on the weekly should be curling up into that location as well. And usually NVIDIA has done a great job holding this weekly 12 EMA for the past year and a half. Now, moving on to Tesla. Tesla not looking too bad at all, 1.78% to the downside. The reason I say it's not looking too bad, it is still holding the daily higher lows right here, 177.26. Still looking for the potential trend breakout. And if we do get the trend breakout of about 190, the next location, guys, is pretty much your psychological 200, which is roughly in line with the 200-day moving average. So we are forming a little bit of a base right now of support, prior resistance, going to be newfound support above the moving averages still. So even though Tesla's down today, I would not say the momentum is dead. It still does have a chance. However, if we break these lows, 177.11, well, unfortunately, daily downtrend is commenced once again, and we'll just be in for further weekly consolidation and counting on our 168, 167, our 170 level to act as our last line of defensive support. So all in all, I still do like Tesla. And I might tomorrow, if tomorrow's a red day in the markets, let's say, if we open red and don't break these lows, let's say we get down to 178, 170, high 177s throughout the day, I may be looking for a little play on support for some call options. At that point, my stop loss will probably go, pretty much below these lows right here. Let's call it 170, and then we'll be targeting pretty much the $200 level breakout. I'll probably do it with 30 or 45-day calls. Moving on to Palantir. Palantir down about 1% today. Same thing as NVIDIA, right? Palantir started extremely strong and then just could not keep it up. A little bit of consolidation, but still nowhere close to breaking Tuesday's lows. So this was a win for Palantir, even though they are down 1%, right? They gained a level. So if Palantir's consolidation continues, going to be looking for a higher low, anything above 22.85, looking for that higher low for the eventual trend continuation. Where's our next support level, guys? Prior resistance, right around 24.25. The daily 12 EMA is going to be curling up there as well. Could be a nice location for a little bit of a retest and maybe run a little bit higher too. If for whatever reason, guys, we lose this and come into a daily downtrend over the next week or two as tech consolidates, well, there's tons of space on the weekly for a pullback, guys. Anything at this point above 20.6, looking for that weekly higher low for further trend continuation. So if ever we break this level right here and go even further to the downside on the weekly, you guys will notice 23 to 22.50, gorgeous location for a retest and continuation of the weekly uptrend. I see no red flags on Palantir, just a little bit too high for me to be playing it aggressive right now. If we do come down 24, 23.50, almost likely once again be targeting 23, 22.50 strikes for some short puts. Now moving lastly into PayPal. Trying to get a little bit of a bid here today, but not that much, right? 1.15% to the upside. So is the daily bounce underway for PayPal? Well, I told you guys, watch for the hourly trend change. Still no defined hourly trend change yet. They are trying, right? We're finally above. Look how long we've been below this 12 EMA, the yellow line right here. Finally above it. So if PayPal can get a little bit of hourly uptrend momentum, that you guys know the daily bounce is underway, and then we need to measure the size of the bounce in relation to this guy right here at around $68. It's going to take a heck of a bounce for the bulls to be able to get back in this daily trend control, and this whole resistance above us now is this whole previous support, is going to be acting as resistance. So the key for PayPal right now is measuring the size of the bounce. I need to see a bounce at least get up to about 63.50, which would be a 50% retracement. That would give the bulls the best chance of resetting the daily uptrend in their favor. However, if we bounce very weak before the hourly trend rolls over again, right? If we only bounce all the way up here, 61, and then we lose the hourly and then roll over, you guys must understand that the probabilities do favor the bears for flushing the lows again. And at that point, we will be looking, guys, to the lower area of support, 58 down to about $56, which is where I would be more interested in playing this stock. It's very close right now, but I want to be greedy on PayPal just because the market is not really favoring fintech plays as of lately. So that's pretty much everything for our daily market rundown, indexes, and big tech. Now let's take a very brief look into my portfolio for some closing trades. All right, guys, so taking a look at the portfolio here, you will see that there was a few trades that were closed and just one that was open. So number one that was closed, we actually rolled the we rolled them for a higher strike. So you can see here that I did close my AMD 150 put position. We closed that midway through the day right here. You can see that we closed the 150 puts for 11 cents. We got about 69 cents on them earlier in the week. So very nice, about 85% win there. And what do? We rolled them up to the 155s for tomorrow's expiry for about 40 cents. So really getting about 30 cents in extra premium right there. We'll see how this one goes, but so far so good, guys. They are pretty much almost worthless. I would be very surprised if the market closes below 155 on AMD by tomorrow. Amazon 180 puts, those are still on deck. Still haven't closed those despite being up about 90% on those. I'll pretty much let them ride to expiry. CP 7750s as well. We're doing quite good on those. CP is maintaining above our 7750 level and is starting to get a nice little bounce here. So I may even be looking at CP for a little bit of a swing trade. I might even use shares or longer form calls, as I do believe we're kind of bottoming out right here and could be in for a little bit of a run, especially if value becomes a more prevalent trade as this rotation continues to play out, right? Now, we did write one extra play here, the ON Semiconductor $66 puts. ON was down at one point about 4.1%, and that's exactly where I pretty much took the trade, almost where we are right now, guys. I took it earlier on in the day, but we do have a little bit of cushion here, guys. We're trading at about 67, 63, and I wrote these 66 puts for tomorrow. So we still do have a little bit of cushion, guys, 2.5%, but if I get assigned at 66, I really wouldn't be upset, guys. I'm actually looking to build more of a position on ON all the way through about 61, $60. I still think this is one of your better valued semiconductor plays in the market right now. Pepsi 165 calls are still on deck. Pepsi's trading around 166.50 right now. We will see if we can roll these tomorrow. So far, the premium is pretty good for a roll, guys. If we were to roll it tomorrow, we would be looking at maybe 80 cents worth of premium for next week. However, I also like the short puts. The short puts for next week, the 165s, are about $2.30, well above 1%. So I may just close the Pepsi position and write 165 puts again rather than rolling the calls, just looking to optimize and get the most amount of premium possible, right? We did also close the Visa credit spread, the put credit spread that we had open, right? We got about $1.60 for those about maybe a week and a half ago at this point. We were able to get a closing trade on it today for about 55%, right? So we got the difference between this. So let's call it 136 minus 0.66. We closed it for exactly 70 cents, just so you guys see the math. We wrote it for $1.60, closed it for about 70 cents. So over 50% profit. I'll remind you guys, credit spreads, to get the full premium out of it, you have to wait till expiry, which is why before expiry, if you can find 50+%, that is really the best you can get, guys. 50, 60, 65%. I will close that each and every time. So very happy with that win as well. And the only other closing trade for the day here today, guys, was CRM. I closed one of the call option contracts just because it was up 20% in one single day of trading. CRM getting a nice day up. I do believe that CRM is potentially underway to a very nice daily uptrend continuation here, but I did have two contracts, right? So I'm just in the event that overall markets pull back and CRM gets dragged down as a part of the larger tech trade, this is where I entered on Tuesday, right? So if it comes back down in this location right there, I will just add the call again. But so far, so good. I took about $600 in profit on one day of trading. That was about 20% on the exposure. So I'll take that trade every single time, guys, just looking to lock in some profits, right? That's pretty much all the updates for today. The Intuit shares are doing very good. Now finally above our average cost, looking very, very good on those. Not too big of a gain here. We'll probably hold this maybe to the 630, 640 level. We'll see what goes on. And Square and SoFi still not high enough to be writing covered calls, right? That's pretty much everything for the portfolio update today. I will keep you guys updated on a text basis, so watch on the channel. Tomorrow, if I can't upload a video, of course, I will probably, if I take any trades for next week, I'll pretty much write, there's like a post section, kind of like Facebook, right? So instead of putting out a video, I may just put a post on YouTube and give you guys the outline as of what I did, if there's any significant changes. So that's pretty much everything I had for you guys today. If you enjoyed the video, consider dropping a like, would appreciate it for the growth of the channel. Consider subscribing to the channel if you're new as well. We do these videos every single Monday through Friday, except for tomorrow, just because I'll be on a business trip pretty much. And lastly, guys, if you have any questions whatsoever, feel free to leave them down below in the comments, in the comment section, of course. If you have anything you want, guys, technical analysis, stock analysis, in terms of fundamentals, options play that you're considering, maybe you want a second opinion on or something like that, obviously not financial advice, anything you want, guys, leave it down below in the comments and I'll be very happy to answer. So take care. I will try and update you guys as soon as possible. I will try to make that video on Sunday night as well, but the next daily market recap will be Tuesday after the close. So have a very good day of trading tomorrow and have a beautiful weekend coming up as well. Take care and peace.